Welcome to another Sunday Stock Talk. Today is February 23rd. It's about 4 o'clock my time, about 6 o'clock on the East Coast, and overnight trading hours does start in just a couple of hours. And I want to make sure you guys are prepared for this week ahead. So today, like always, every week, we give out our Sunday Stock Talk and our game plan for the week ahead. So I hope you guys enjoy. We are going to talk about the overall markets. Now, I did make a video about the overall markets, the condition it's headed, whether it's going to sell off, whether it's going to be bullish. I made a video yesterday talking exactly about it and how you can take advantage either way, whether it sells off or whether it goes up. So definitely consider checking out that video maybe after this live stream if you haven't watched it already. Now guys, we are going to talk about obviously the NASDAQ market. Where is it headed? We're going to talk about crypto and Bitcoin, right? We're going to talk about Bitcoin specifically. And we're going to talk about gold. We always talk about gold, overall direction. And then if you guys have any call outs, any tickers you want me to look at, then by all means, definitely share them with me and I will review them with you and go over them. Also, we'll be going over a few of my picks for this week ahead in our stocks 2025 setup here. Okay, so yeah, I'm excited for a new week. We're gonna wait just a couple more seconds just for everyone to join our live stream. We want to make sure everyone has a chance and an opportunity to get in on this Sunday Stock Talk. So very excited for everyone to join here today with us. Hope you guys are all having a great weekend. And with that said, let us begin. All right. Also, we have the most anticipated earnings releases that are also going, we're also going to be looking at here. Let's just make sure chats are working. Everything looks good. All right, we are going good here. Loving it. All right. Markets are in a crazy area right now. They're finding some interesting areas of, well, consolidation. Are we going to see this bounce on the support level here, or are we going to see it fail and actually sell off even more? That's why you're watching. That's what everyone wants to know this week. What is the direction of the market, right? And what we can do as traders and investors is we can't predict the future. We can't predict what's going to happen, but with some indicators and some experience, we can then tell a better understanding of where the market is going to be and somewhat of where it's headed, right? And then as direction forms, we can take a better educated guess, or we can at least follow the market in the correct direction that we are seeing or wanting it to go, right? So, okay, with that said here, QQQ, it's now at 526, guys. Now 525-ish, that level there is a strong support. It has been for quite some time, as it has been an area of resistance. Anytime there is strong resistance levels, there can be strong support. It's also above the moving average, at least it has been for the last few days. Now, as everyone knows, the NASDAQ market could not get above $538 for quite some time. Recently, it was trading within this horizontal pattern, lows of about 500, 505 to highs of about 525 and sometimes 530. For quite some time though, since December of last year, we're talking now a couple of months. Yeah, we're talking a little over 2 months. It's been in a horizontal pattern. Now, it did push up higher recently to $541, making new highs because previous highs were 538, and then after breaking that high, it couldn't stay up there longer than a few days, not even a full week, before it came all the way back down. It came down about 3%, roughly a little less than 3%. Testing this moving average. Now, that is okay, as it does test it and rebound sometimes, and we could see a rebound tomorrow on the Qs, over a 3% rebound, and it could actually push up higher. Could also have a 3 to 3.5% sell off to this other support level of 500. I want you guys to all be aware of that. So two different levels, two different areas that this can go. And I go into a little bit more detail with QQQ, but overall, if it sells off or if it goes up 3%, you can make money trading TQQQ, which is a triple leveraged ETF of the NASDAQ. If it goes up 3%, you can make 9 to 10% trading TQQQ. If it goes down 3%, then we can trade SQQQ for that potential to get that 9% profit back to those $31 levels on SQQQ. So right there, in the first few minutes, there's already a way to go long on the market tomorrow if we get a significant bounce off of this level here, this support level, or you could actually short the market if you want to. Okay, what I like to do here is not tell you what to buy or sell or hold. I don't I don't sell alerts. What we do here is we identify opportunities, and then you can make your best determination if you want to trade it or not. But I'm talking about the companies I see value in and overall direction of the market. All right, so that's the overall market there. Now that is made up of mostly Tesla, which again, it's in a downward trend. It is selling off. AMD, again, a very harsh downward trend, getting rejected from the moving average. NVIDIA also getting rejected in this kind of horizontal pattern. Google also selling off, now below that moving average, maybe back to 165 levels. Microsoft also selling off. Meta selling off from those highs of 740 back below what would have been a support, and now couldn't hold that support either. So let's see if we catch some support at that moving average or not. And Amazon also selling off. Is it going to retrace to this $200 level, 212 to be specific, or is it going to sell off back to those $200 levels down in this area here? Apple also had a huge sell-off previously, a nice push back up to that horizontal level, $247, pulling back, pushing back up to 247, could not break 247 levels, and it's getting pulled back. So, overall, there are a lot of companies that are in a downward trend this week. They're going to need to see a significant rebound, as of course everyone knows the NASDAQ is made up majority of these companies here. Now, overall VIX, as far as the greed and fear index, we are very greedy right now. There is a lot of greed in the markets, which is great. We want to see people pumping the markets. When things begin to sell off and companies begin to be cheaper, then people will actually load up in these cheaper levels. 405, easily see here at 405 levels on Microsoft, hey, I'm going to load up at these $400 levels, as there was significant bounces off of that level previously, right, in this horizontal pattern. I'm gonna load up at these $400 levels for the possibility of it going up to 450s, 445 to 450 levels, even $460. So this does bring a lot of greed into the market as people are trying to buy everything cheaper, and then when it's time to sell, this will actually sell off and become more of a fear type setting, is what I'm beginning to understand from watching the VIX index. Now, moving on real quick, let's talk about crypto. Crypto has been, again, same thing, a very horizontal pattern. We had a very significant volatile market previously from, November through December through January and even February. We had a very significant volatility market pushing from, $90,000 up to 106, back down to 90, back up to 106. A lot of volatility, and now it's actually trading within this very small little window here. It's trading between 95 and 98,000. It doesn't really know what to do, but as we can see, it got rejected off of this moving average. That was a crucial area. If it went above that moving average on the 4-hour, we would have seen more upward growth. And again, I'm not biased whether this goes up or down. It doesn't matter to me either way. But what I do like to do is showcase opportunity and track it overall to give everyone a better understanding of the overall direction. Now, it did get rejected off of this level here, and it's holding support, kind of not even in 95 range anymore. It's actually making kind of lower lows. It can get as low as $90,000 nonetheless, but at the same time, I feel like this is probably going to continue to stay horizontal. Maybe we get back up to 10, maybe 100,000 before it gets rejected again. But, overall, very horizontal market. We're all waiting for the same thing. Is this going to sell off back to, lows of like 70,000, 50,000, or is this going to make new highs to 110, 120, 150? Only time will tell. No one really knows the true answer. But Mara taking a hit as well, man. Mara not doing so great at all. A lot of trades that we've made with Mara, but selling off. We have not made any recent trades. Last trade we took was February 11th. So it's been a few weeks. But overall downtrend. I would not invest in this company right now. We only want to invest in companies that are actually showcasing signs of it going up. So a lot of these levels are going to be broken. We could always draw these levels again later, but ultimately a lot of these levels are going to be broken at these. Look at this. Very, very choppy indeed. Now, Riot also very horizontal pattern, and Clean Spark, all based off of crypto. Moving on to gold. Now, gold, not bad, right? We talked about this a little while back. We talked about it in December through January, kind of that loading phase on the 3 stages of reversal. Had a nice rejection period, 30% sell off pretty much. Had a very clean consolidation period of around a month and a half, and now has, since January 23rd, showcasing signs of an upward trend. In 28 days, it's gone up over 22%. So if you average that out, that's a little less than 1% per day. But it has had a significant pull off since then, from highs of $19 back down to 18. Is this going to actually continue to push up? That's a 4% retracement right there if it does push up, which would not be too bad at all. Or will this begin to come back down? So interesting to see for gold. It is above those moving averages, showing signs of it being bullish. And as far as that goes, this could continue to push up just a little bit more. 16% still from those over bought levels and previous highs of $21 on Barrick Gold. Which means if gold does continue to push up, you can always get into JNUG. If you believe gold is going to sell off, and this would be a good time for JDST as well, bouncing off a previous support of $20. As you can see, there are signs of some upward momentum progress. Getting in at 21, even to that moving average, that's a 17% profit. Pushing back up to highs of 32, about almost a 50% profit. But again, JDST, you are betting against gold, that gold is overbought and it will sell off. Okay, so be very mindful of that. JDST is very risky. Okay, but there is a potential to make some money. Even if you buy just a few shares, you can see some significant gains. So, even buying 1 share for 20 bucks, if it pushed up to 25, that's $5 a share. Roughly say $4 a share, and then if it pushes up to $32, that's $10 a share. So even if you bought 1 share, you can make 10 bucks potentially. Imagine if it was 10 shares, that's 100 bucks. 100 shares, that's $1,000, and 100 shares of this isn't much. 100 shares would be $2,000 to potentially make roughly about $1,000. So just saying, that is another opportunity there. So yeah, that was the overall NASDAQ. That was us talking about crypto, specifically Bitcoin and Mara, and then talking about gold. Let's go ahead and get into a couple of stocks here that some of you guys have called out in the past Sunday night or Sunday stock talks. CrowdStrike selling off significantly, again in that same area where kind of the NASDAQ is, right? It's almost at a key area of either going to bounce and make a rally and go back to those highs of 450s for a nice 14% recovery, or will this actually sell off and actually lose this little area of support and sell off even more back to lows of 368 or even 330, 350. I mean, it can come back down to some crazy levels. This support was broken, so the next support technically could be down in the 330s, right? Or this moving average right here. As long as it stays above this moving average, it could have a really nice bounce back up. So that's CrowdStrike. Celsius, that energy drink. Again, it surpassed its resistance level that it was in for quite some time. Now it's above it, making highs of $36. We didn't trade it on February 20th, but we did see it the next morning when it was selling off. Made 43% profit, $10 per share in a single day. Okay, that's insane. And then since then it's sold off from $36 down to $32. Now what's interesting, on the 4-hour, it's setting up for, again, is this going to hold here and bounce off of that 9-day EMA? Or is it going to sell off, retest this level, and then potentially bounce? That's very possible, right? Because it already tested it once here with this long candle, and it held. So are we going to get another second hold, or will this actually sell off back down to, even $26, $20, okay? But we are watching it nonetheless. JTAI, again, another company we traded, made some money on. Very nice push up from 2 all the way to 8, pulled back down to $4, tested this moving average, and then shot back up to $11, and then since pulled back to about $6. So still watching it, potential for it to push up even higher, back to those levels, 60% profit if JTAI does hold this support level and bounce up. Downside would be it goes back to, say, the moving average for a 40% loss, or the previous low of around $2 for about a 64% loss. So very risky indeed. Cinex, another company we've called out, again, catching that support, holding support levels at about $17. Will it hold support again? And can we get a nice bounce up? A nice 31% profit on a swing trade here. Now, Century Aluminum is an aluminum company. It was affected by tariffs, making it slightly more expensive, and that's why we got this nice run previously, which was right here, January 27th to February 11th. It's a very nice area, and look at that, very clean from 17 to even 22. That was a 27% profit in about 2 weeks. Now we try to make anywhere from 5 to 10% a week here on the channel, and that's my personal goal as a trader. And to be able to make 23% in 2 weeks, that's what, like 10, 12, at least 11 or 12% in a week. That would hit our target goal and some. Palantir also same thing, pushing up very nicely to 125 and pulling back to $100. Now what I did fail to mention at the beginning of this live stream was our most anticipated earnings releases. If you are a member of the Discord, which you can sign up for free, lifetime access, 100% free, guys, you can see if you go all the way down to these chats, resources, weekly economic calendar, you can pull up the most recent one. Monday, SoFi reports earnings, AT&T reports earnings, and then AG&C after hours. That's a big one. On Tuesday, we have Boeing, GM, JetBlue, Cisco before market opens. After close, it's Starbucks, Logitech, Lending Club. Wednesday, there's ASML, Progressive, T-Mobile, ADP, the overall NASDAQ itself, General Dynamics. Wednesday this week, after market close, Tesla will be reporting their earnings, which I'm excited about. Meta, Microsoft, IBM. So it's going to be a pretty crazy week, a pretty wild week indeed. And Thursday before open will be UPS, MasterCard, Nokia, Southwest Airlines, Caterpillar, Dow, Comcast. So it's definitely an earnings season this week for sure. After close on Thursday will be Apple, Intel, Visa, Baker Hughes, Decker, SkyWest, and then Friday before open will be ExxonMobil, Chevron, AbbVie, Phillips 66, and Brookfield. So we probably should have started the live stream with this. Maybe I'll mention it again in the morning. Actually, I will. I'll mention it again in the morning before we start trading. If you guys are interested to watch me trade in the morning, as soon as tomorrow, All you have to do is simply subscribe to the channel, become a Discord member. Again, 100% free, lifetime access. You won't be disappointed. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on this week in the markets. Uber again at all-time highs, calling it out. It's actually coming back down. So SoFi also reports its earnings this week. If it gets good earnings, it can go back up to 18 plus, or if it gets a bad earnings, it can go all the way back down to 13, 10, even $7. Okay. SMCI, another one that we actually have a position on. Let's see if it bounces. Now, they do report on Tuesday because they failed to meet filing their K10, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called, but they didn't file on time, so they gave them an extension until Tuesday this week, which is just in a couple days. Is it going to get a nice bounce and we're going to see some nice 23% profits and higher, or is this going to continue to sell off and we're actually going to see some lows? You know, it could sell off 30% back to previous levels. Now, I don't normally take swing trades, but we do have 30 shares in SMCI at the moment for our first swing trade of the year. That is right, first swing trade of the year. LUNR, also another company. Now, this actually has a launch on the 25th at Cape Canaveral, basically where SpaceX is. It's going to be launching, I believe, 3 at one time, or it will have 3 missions all going simultaneously. Either way, this is the 3rd launch, and 2 have been 100% effective, right? They've been successful. So potential, you know, we have 28 shares in this one, almost 30. Another, you know, swing trade, not typical. It broke that support and it broke that moving average. But if it can hold up at $17 levels where it's previously held up before, then we can see this bounce and make those nice highs again, potentially 30% profit. Okay, downside would be this sells off back to, you know, $16 for a 12% loss, or even back to $11 or $10 very easily for a 40% loss. So definitely very risky. I wasn't planning on swing trading these. I was holding them throughout the day. They did not recover, and I checked my phone and it was like 2 or 3 minutes after the market officially closed after hours. So you have the market open and then it closes, and then you have a little bit, you have like 2 more hours to trade after hours, and I missed it by like 2 or 3 minutes. I missed the after hours to sell, to get out of my position, and so hey, now I'm holding a swing trade because I missed it by a couple of minutes. XPEV also pushed up to that 1855 level, went all the way up to 1930 and came back down. So again, it's at resistance levels. Will this come back down or will this push up? XPEV is a electric car company in China. You can say what you want about tariffs and Tesla and electric cars and Trump and whatever you want to say, but XPEV has had some really great progress over the last couple of months as we've been tracking it for some time. Had nice lows at $10 up to 16, 55% profit, coming back down to load up in those $11 and $12 range, and then pushing all the way up to those 18, or even, you know, even those 1850 levels for a 53% profit in less than 40 days. 40 days, that's a month and like a week, you know, a little more than a month and a week, and you could have been up easily 60%. Okay, you know, of course, that's hindsight. You could say that about any company, but we have been watching XPEV since at least November of last year. This looks like October we started watching it and tracking it, and so, you know, it can have a solid retracement. It can come back down and test any one of these moving averages. It can come back down to $15, and it can even come back down to $12. But what's great about what I do here is I basically look at the same series of companies, the overall direction of the market, consistently, day after day, week after week, and with that we can then determine patterns, areas of opportunity to buy into companies, and then determine, hey, these are the companies that I think have the most value, and these are the ones that I would like to trade, right? Whether it be a swing trade or a day trade. Apple like has huge moves in a single day. Apple's pushed up over 5% in a single day, as well as, other companies like SQQQ, where we can trade these reversals as well. Pushing up from 26 to 28, that's a 6 to 7% profit in a single day by understanding the direction of the market and then taking advantage of it, buying low. And as the market begins to either sell off or go up, or whatever the company is that you're watching, but once you determine direction overall, it actually helps you understand, hey, you know what, I actually could take this trade, buy low, buy when it crosses over the moving averages, add to my position as it starts forming higher highs and holding newer supports, buying again here, letting it ride up, and as long as it stays above these moving averages, you can basically ride this all day up. Right, so that was a 6% profit, and even still holding, that's still up about 6%. So great opportunities even when the market sells off. If you want to know more about making money when the market sells off, or more information on the video from yesterday talking about the market selling off more and how you could benefit off of trading SQQQ, then definitely check out the video from yesterday. I enjoyed hanging out with you all. It doesn't look like we have really anyone tuned in. I'm still trying to get acquainted, or trying to figure out the best time to consistently go on to these Sunday stock talks. Should we do them in the morning? Should we do them in the afternoon? I want you guys to decide as a majority, and then the majority rules, right? We have over 7,000, just shy of 7,000 subscribers now on the YouTube channel, and over 70,000 community members now with the Discord Learn to Earn team and our Investing for Beginners team. So, over 70,000 people. Let's all make a collective decision on when we should do these Sunday stock talks to benefit the majority of you guys, right? I would love to do these later in the evening, if that's the case. But right now, let's try to do either mornings, afternoons, or evenings. Let's pick one of the ones. You guys decide, and we'll go from there. But I know usually we have a really good turnout in the mornings with our live streams. We'll have double digits watching, and it's a really good time. You get to watch me trade live, kind of like watching over my shoulder as I get in and out of trades. You get to understand my thought process as to exactly why I'm buying a company, selling a company, etc. Like SMCI was a beautiful trade right here, from 54 to 62, up $7.50 per share, or 13%, right? And we've made some really decent trades on the channel too. It's just all about timing, right? Timing the market, and making sure that we are going with it, the direction. So yeah, with that said, I hope to see you all bright and early tomorrow morning for our live day trading session. It's 100% free, and all you have to do is become a YouTube subscriber and a Discord member. That's it. 100% free for both of those. So thank you for your time. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you all tomorrow morning. Don't be late. Just kidding.